The first draw of the season is Geelong and the Giants at Spotless Stadium, mate. And a very crazy result. We're up by 20 points. Couldn't quite get the chocolates. The Giants were pushing late. And could have gone either way. They had all the momentum, all the time in forward half, which is a big thing you're talking about. And we snuck a draw, salvaged something out of the game. But most importantly, mate, we'd be really impressed with how he went about it. Had a few drinks last night watching the game, and slightly dusty the day after. How did you see the game, mate? So we were quite vocal, and I was as well.
Yeah. Well, I think prior to the game, already a few out. They welcome a few big ins. Then Sal was a very late out his mental. We're thinking, gee, to get within 3 to 4 goals here is going to be a pretty good effort. We know anything can happen, but we sort of thought what we're going to need here is a real team performance. Everyone playing their role. It's so cliche, but that's what you need. Just one of those wins, a bit like Carlton did against them. Just players really bonding together and the leaders leading.
Yeah.
But we also thought that a 10-goal win to GWS or maybe more is not out of the question. That's a genuine fear. And I think early on we thought our pressure was really good, our intent around the footy, the likes of Menengola and Duncan were helping out Dangerfield, who early on his impact may have not been in the metres gained column, but he was certainly huge at the contest. And, we did have a few younger guys that were inexperienced, but they provided a bit of life as well, and a bit of buzz, as everyone's going to be saying.
Hey boy, buzz.
But no, so I think overall, the Giants, yes, they came back, and I suppose that was always going to happen. We see,
a good teams come back.
Yeah, particularly at home, just like we did last week. And yes, Hawkins missed, but so did Walters. So we can't be too greedy.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some kind of thing.
Yeah. So just talking about the last 5 minutes, which most people will, I think we felt that we definitely deserved to come away with some sort of points. And when the Giants hit the front, we're sort of thinking, oh no, we don't deserve to come away with nothing here. Like, that would be absolutely heartbreaking and a really tough loss. Then when Hawkins gets it, the immediate reaction is, oh yes, we're not going to lose. And then within a few seconds you're like, hang on, this could be one of the greatest wins. What a fantastic victory this is going to be. I can't wait to celebrate in 20 seconds. And then he misses, and then it's a draw, and then you're just left with that feeling that you're always left with a draw, and you're just like,
what was the analogy?
It's like dancing with your sister.
There we go.
I think Dennis Pagan coined that one, and it's true, because you're sort of looking around going, oh, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also there's better things in it too. So
just didn't know to feel like it's tough to pill to swallow. Felt like we should have won, but then the Giants were in a very winnable position as well, so that would be spewing as well. They came back and couldn't get a win on the board.
I think the fact that we had 3 debutants, an experienced team, on the road after a 6-day break, weren't in the best form anyway, against one of the best sides in the comp, probably the best.
Yes.
Then I think they'd definitely be more disappointed than we were to come away with a draw.
Correct, yep.
And I think we're really good around the ball. The Giants lifted, and that was probably where I think the clearance stat was big time in their favour late.
Yeah.
So to just grind out a solid last 100 seconds, which is what it required, just to give ourselves a couple of looks, I was really pleased with. And you sit there fairly proud with the performance. I think it's one of our best displays for the season.
Yeah.
You just hope that they can bring that same attitude and application against Brisbane next week, who is not a team that we're going to be mentally geared up for automatically. You're going to have to create that yourself a little bit. So yeah, I'm not sure if you had a bit of a closer look at the stats, mate. I was again just talking a little bit more broadly about particularly those latter stages, but how did you see it, mate? I mean, I know fairly well because we sat on the couch, but what did you make of it, mate?
Yeah, look, mixed, but very happy. I'm super stoked with the application, the performance from all the guys. Just really backs to the wall. We had no right to get even close to the Giants last night, and we did. We escaped with 2 points, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Like, in the moment, we were sort of like, oh damn. I said to you, mate, I can't see Hawkins kicking it. Just that angle was almost too acute. Even though I reckon probably 45 out from that angle, he'd be feel more comfortable. But he just on the instep just went too far to the right. So, but you know, to get that opportunity in the first place. I mean, as you said, couldn't lose, and we were up and we were jumping out of our seats, and I got a bit real on Johnny Patton earlier too.
Yes.
With a few choice words, but
savage.
yeah, no, won't repeat that on live cam. So anyway, but look, the second tier was really pleased with. They stepped up. Dangerfield was amazing. He played, I mean, his impact on his 45 touches weren't amazing, but you got to have someone inside getting the football, feeding it out to your teammates who can run on the outside and then transition the ball from one end to the other. So, look, really loved the way Dangerfield went about it. And, look, Menegola, Duncan were very good. And just, as you said, the debutants looked really promising. I feel like I'm always doing the votes and the player review at the moment. But look, clearances went by 6, going by this. Got more inside 50s. I think the major thing to take out of this is, as you said, 3 debutants. No right to win. But the application we put into the game, the effort, everything we gave, and to put ourselves in a winnable position, winning probably 3 out of 4 quarters is probably more pleasing than actually getting the draw. And if we lost, it would have been very disheartening, as you said. But I think that we've got we're starting to get a bit of a process happening. Taylor down back was huge, which you'll touch on in the player review, I'm sure. So look, just a couple of positional changes, reasonably good around the clinches. And we really stopped their transition as well. They're the best transition side team in the comp. What does that essentially mean? How quick they are to move from one end to the other, or just clean possessions in chains?
Just how effectively they move it from their defensive 50 and then get a score.
Okay, yeah. So we really blocked that up well, and against some really good sides. Adelaide's another one. We tend to do that too. Like when Adelaide are in full flight and everything's going right for them, you often see them just move the ball effortlessly from one end to the other, but we do have an ability against some really good teams to be able to stop and just get a hand in there, or a player just takes an intercept mark, just goes to the right place at the right time. I reckon we've really improved in that area, and stopping the transition from the best teams goes a long way, because if you're able to turn it over, you've got them out. So, look, super pleased with the result. Not ecstatic, but look, we'll take a draw, and those 2 points will be so crucial. Every point's crucial in this competition, and look to keep the Giants to a pretty modest score as well. We didn't score much ourselves either, but loved Buzzer as well. He provided a lot of spark for the forward line. Good kicking. Don't know why he's got the play on when he had to run inside the field of play, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, just very pleased with the effort. And just the unity of the club. Loved it. So, well done, Cats. You've got my particular approval this week.
And just one thing before we move to the votes, just on the Hawkins play at the end, I think people talk about key forwards and how important they are, and maybe you can get away with smaller forward lines these days and things like that, or Hawkins is out of form, what's he, people get frustrated when key forwards have a lean spell, but that's what they can do. It was a great mark. It wasn't his best day. He's probably beaten on the day. But he's a star. When the moment had to be there, he stood up to the plate. Sure, he missed the goal, but at least he took the big grab, to at least put himself a chance to succeed. And he failed on the kick, but some people don't have the guts or ability to put themselves to the plate. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but look, we'll move into the votes, mate. Sorry, I stole your segue, mate. Sorry.
You're right. Why you're too calm about it. Hopefully Tommy just keeps that one in check as well. But hopefully doesn't get brought up too much. But anyway, we'll go into the votes, mate. As you said, I haven't really studied the stats too much with the players I'm thinking of, but we'll go into yours, and I think we're pretty similar.
Yeah, it just came pretty clear to me. I felt. I mean, as you say, maybe we could look a bit deeper, but Dangerfield was clearly best, I thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps the first half, his disposals may not have been as influential, but his second half was unbelievable.
Last quarter, you said he was going to have a big one.
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah, he was
and he was always going.
I felt Menegola was worthy of 2 votes.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful kick. You mentioned it in the match, just how good of a kick he is inside 50, just a searing delivery. And he did that a couple of times. And stepped up the plate as well in the absence of Salve, which I was really pleased. As did Mitch Duncan, who I gave the 1 vote too.
Very good.
I thought he was very silky, as he always is. And
especially early.
Yeah, looks real confident with the ball. He always has been, but he just looks even more so at the moment. So, probably a couple other guys who maybe played a very good role or have had a bit of an influence in other ways. But I just felt that those three guys in the midfield that came up against what is probably the best midfield, they had to lift, and they did.
I describe our midfield as a bit workmanlike when you don't have your Dangerfield and Selwood in there. Like when you look at Duncan and Menegola, Duncan's pretty silky. Menegola's more so your real workmanlike midfielder. But look, mate, they did very well, and they get the votes in mine. Dangerfield the 3, 45 touches, 29 of those were handballs, and he just really set us up from the get-go, and just loved the way he went about it. Stood up big time in the last quarter, just some crucial possessions, and he did stuff up a little bit late when he had all the time in the world and just a bit of a fumble. I mean, that's going to happen when you get that much of the footy, I guess, but you can't be too greedy. But yeah, it's one of those frustrating ones, but very good from Dangerfield. The Menegola will probably get the 2 votes as well, I reckon. I think he got 33 from memory and might have kicked a goal or at least set up a couple. He's
certainly set up a few.
Yeah, look, his delivery inside 50, as I mentioned off the top, and Shorty referred to. Just centimetre perfect, I must say. Thanks, Dennis, for that one. And look, yeah, he's just a ball in the contest like Dangerfield, and I hope he keeps up this form. And yeah, I'd love to just keep going with that, mate. Just
need him.
Oh yeah, he's crucial. He's probably, if he's in really good touch come the end of the season, wearing the 8, playing finals and stuff, he could be more crucial than Dangerfield and Selwood with the second tier, if you like.
Yeah.
Not in terms of influence, but
we know what you mean, Tiz.
What's he saying? He's trying to get both sides of the cake. Duncan will get the 1 vote. I think he got around the 30 touches. I did mention to you last night, did he go a bit quiet late, or was that just me making stuff up?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the actual numbers, but he may have. But.
Yeah, especially early though. Duncan was very clean, prolific, just got around the footy. He just really bursts through packs these days, and probably in the past you'd be on a wing and just get the nice clean disposal. It just works really hard. Love the way he goes about it. Just silky player. And one of their most important players. He's trying to step up in that A grade. If he just keeps these up, he'd be. He won't be level with Dangerfield and Selwood, but he'd be certainly right up there with some of the better midfielders in the competition. So those players get my votes. Harry Taylor, very good down back, and I feel like the defensive unit was pretty good. Just played on pattern. Was it Lonigan and Henderson? Bit of a swappy setup.
Yeah, I find it hard to tell exactly who's on who for the whole game, but. Yeah, certainly. I think it was those guys for the most part. But it is hard to get a gauge sometimes when you're so caught up in a close game.
No, you sort of more so look at what's happening right then and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they took a few contested marks inside 50, which we don't normally allow. Sometimes I don't even see a contested mark. Like it's usually those hit up leads that they get. Most teams when they play us. But yeah, look, those are the votes, and we'll go into the player review segment, mate, and. I guess any injuries to report of, who's going to come in, who's going to go out, and I reckon there'll be some familiar names which we'll both probably agree with.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of injuries going around at the moment, isn't there? Of course.
There's a stack.
Menzel, I'm not even sure exactly what his injury was that took him out, but Joel will be back from concussion, one would imagine, because he was so close to playing anyway. Scott Sull with that hamstring.
Yeah.
Just don't know. Thought we'd probably miss the Freo game. Plays it, misses the next. Perhaps a stuff up by the medicos. They won't say that, but should have been played against Freo.
Yeah.
Darcy Lang, not even sure on the severity of that one, but certainly at least a couple. Otherwise, who else we got floating around there? I think, like you said, with Taylor, that was clearly a good move. How much more at home does he look in the back line?
How much more balanced do we look as a side? Like, we just look so much more comfortable and balanced.
And people will talk about maybe being too tall, but I think these days, if you can play as a real defensive unit and be structured and pressure up the field, then that's where it can work. If the pressure up the field drops off, then you're in strife.
Big time.
I think as long as you have Buse, who I liked his game, and Tui in there, Mackie's not quick, but he is that mid-size.
Yeah, he is.
And Henderson's quite good, both on the ground and up in the air.
Yeah.
So look, I think structurally, we took a step in the right direction. Buzzer, you'd like to see him hold his spot.
Yeah, he has to, for sure.
Yeah. And I felt Aaron Black probably would go out of the side.
I don't even know how he came in and who he came in for.
Yeah, well, I watched the VFL live the game before, or the week before, and he wasn't anything special. So I was quite. I mean, sometimes coaches look for different things, but I wouldn't have thought he would keep his spot, depending how healthy the list is. Zach Guthrie and Sammy Simpson did some reasonable things.
Yeah, for sure. I like the way they went about it.
Yeah, whether it's enough to hold a spot, sometimes you're pushed out for a better player, but Kunico, I think, is an ankle he's struggling with at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
A bit unlucky that, you know, in this carnage of injuries, he just happened to miss out on a chance as well because he was injured too. Would have been great to get an opportunity for him.
Yes, he's a lively type.
And Parfitt made a return to the VFL, got through nicely, so he would have to be in the frame. I wouldn't be rushing to play him against Brisbane. You'd probably have him earmarked for the Hawthorn game. There's no reason to rush a young bloke like that back, so
for sure.
And Cockatoo, he's still got a little bit of time, isn't he?
It's a hamstring?
Yeah, is that about 3 to 4? I think they definitely want to make sure he's right before he comes back.
Yeah,
so.
I'd be extra cautious with him, and I reckon the medicos will be as well, for sure.
Yeah, and I think George Horne-Smith pinged something as well.
They've got a lot of injuries when you really look at it. No, I mean, they're not household names, but you know, they're depth players, and players at their best can be, you know, best 22. So everyone's talking about the Giants injury list, which we think is overrated. Not being biased, you know, that's how we see it. Not too many would sort of jump into their 22, or maybe even anyone's 22.
And look, there are a few injuries. They're not your household names, as you said, but they're also not long term, which is good. So hopefully in the next month or something, you might cop a couple others, but hopefully we'll be back to that more good 25, 26 players, which at the moment, that's why you get 3 debutants when you're really scrapping around.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but I think that's probably about all. I don't think I've missed anyone. Certainly sounded like I covered off in a few names there.
Yeah, you did well. Yeah, no, good memory.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Run us through next week. Obviously, we need to be switched on.
Yeah, just before we get to next week, mate,
okay.
I've got a little bit of another shout out. I was just thinking about then. Cam Guthrie, really good game as well. He escaped the limelight here. He was really good. You liked him up forward?
Yeah, he is quite good one-on-one, isn't he, I guess?
Looks dangerous, and he nearly could have made an opportunity
late
as well.
Kicked a couple, No, I didn't mind it. Didn't mind it at all. And Blitzos as well was really impressive.
Yeah, Blitz played a good game as well.
He's a bloke I've whacked from time to time, so yeah.
Very tall team as well, mate.
Yeah.
We've got the Lions at the Gabba, I believe. Next week. So that was a big game. They knocked off the Bombers in a quite upsetting game. 8-point victors there. So look, we'll just be looking to somewhat replicate a similar performance. Really, if we bring a good pressure game and a great execution towards the contest and the way we move the ball and keep Brisbane, the midfield pressure is so important, and how we move the ball from a clearance situation, and just our attitude and mindset coming into the game will just be, it's like that for any game, but for us especially against the lower ranked sides, we've got to really make sure we're mentally switched on, and if we are, the pressure we apply forces turnovers, we're good on transition, so do that enough, you get a winning score quite simply. I'd expect 5 or 6 goal win, but who knows? Like any those games, you can't bank in any game for anyone.
Yeah, I mean it's a good point. Like these days, you just can't lock in anything, can you? Particularly Brisbane at the Gabba. They're not a bad team.
Yeah, they're a good side. They
came down to Melbourne town and had a win as well, which is something that they've found difficult over the long stretch.
A great side, a pretty good side this year.
Yeah,
wouldn't have picked it.
Yeah, and a very good team at Etihad as a general rule. So I know we say it so often, but these lower ranked teams, we so often sit here going, we probably should take an easy win here. Then we sit there the next weekend and go, what's going on here? We've either suffered a loss we shouldn't have, or put in a scrappy performance where we win with 1 quarter of footy. So you got to hope that we can find a way to get ourselves up mentally, because I think that's what it is. It must be. I mean, people talk about coming to play and how it's either a fake news or not worth talking about, but I think it's relevant whether you come to a match respecting the opponent with a mental application to apply yourself with that extra amount of physicality rather than just rocking up to the contest. So,
100% agree.
So we'll need that. We know we get it against good teams. It's time to put a couple of these lower ranked teams, and there's none ranked lower than Brisbane. They're quite clearly the worst team in the competition. So, yeah, I mean, you probably thought maybe Carlton or someone like that was the next, but they've really come on leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
So
they've done well. Yep.
an easy win should happen. Will it happen? We'll wait and see.
What do you think, mate, margin-wise? If you want to chuck in it's pretty irrelevant, really.
Yeah, between 30 and 40, I suppose.
Cool.
Yeah,
We'll take
about that.
Good stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Not too bad for yourself, suffering a severe hangover.
Severe. Oh, far from it, gee. Tired.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah, no, fairly tired.
Oh, no two ways about it there
Yeah.
from Shorty.
For what it's worth, I gave you the 3 votes last night at the pub.
Thank you very much, mate. Loved your work as well. 2-on-2 action there. Just
that's a game of pool, alright.
Got the job done on the pool table and got a few wins on the board. So.
Yeah, it was good.
Alrighty, that's the review from Shorty and myself. Cats drawing with the Giants. First draw of the year. No margins here, so thanks for sticking around as well. Feel free to give the video a like, subscribe as well. It'd be amazing. Check out any other videos relevant to anything you want to have a look at. So it'll be awesome. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.